All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is the beginning of a series here that I wanted to do based on, well, I saw it first um, on Lag TV, and it's a couple of Canadian guys who are just total knuckleheads and really funny, Nova War and Maximus Black. And they're really funny, really immature, but good hearted guys. Um, and they played a game called Nova War Says. So Nova War would put some kind of restriction on the game, and Maximus Black would have to play, and it's StarCraft, by the way. I don't think I mentioned that. And he'd have to play with that restriction. So it might be like, Zealots only or something like that. Well, as I was watching that, I learned that they got that idea from Day 9. So Day 9 is like a tier higher on the, YouTuber hierarchy. And if you haven't seen Day 9, go over and check him out. Like, he's really funny. Uh, and he does more than StarCraft, but I love his StarCraft stuff. I'm just a strategy gamer nerd from way back. I love the gathering of resources, the building up of different kinds of buildings, uh, you know units, and how you play them together. And Day Nine's great. So he had a Fun Day Monday where I believe that's what it was, where he would put a restriction, and then his viewers would send in games where they obeyed that restriction. So a lot of fun threads to follow there if you're interested. But I figured, like, I want to do something like that, even though I'm basically a nobody. I just love this game, 1914. So I've been trying for a while to get a game with a lot of wheat. France has a lot of wheat in the 10-player game. You can see this. I've been trying to get France with the two double wheats and the two single wheats, but I just haven't been able to hit it. But I got on this one, and it seems like Austria-Hungary does okay. It's got one double wheat and two single wheats. It's not quite as good, of course. It's a double wheat away from being as good as France, but I'm going to give it a shot. So here's the restriction I'm placing on myself. I'm still going to try to get cannon, because you got to get cannon. But other than that, all I'm going to build are cavalry. I want swarms of cavalry. They're fast. They attack with twice the ferocity of your average infantry troops, and I just want to see what happens. So no armored cars, no tanks, no planes, nothing. But I am going to give myself cannon, because anybody who plays this game knows uh, if you don't have cannon, you die. So it's really just that simple. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this and work on a few off camera things. So I just don't want to waste your time. So I'll come back and explain what I've done. Okay. So I've kind of looked over the situation. I'm just going to catch you up to what I've done here. What I've done is I've started fortifications in the places where I feel vulnerable. So I feel vulnerable against Berlin rather. You can see I have 3 of their territories adjacent to my one, so I'm building a pillbox there. I went ahead and built one here, or started one here and here. I didn't feel threatened so much down here, because these tend to be AI territories that I'll take over eventually. And so what I'm doing now, you can see I've got these interior territories. I've got 40 of them that I'm going to mass right here at Szeged, and I'm going to go ahead and attack down here into Serbia. That's a safe attack for me, because as you can see, it is an AI right now. That could change at any time, but that's 40 against 10 without any fortifications, and then 10 defending here, which can come into play as I take over the other 2 territories. So I'm just taking some low-hanging fruit here, and I do like it. I've already been able to tell. I tuned up my resources as best I could. Everything looks pretty good here. I've got my wheat high. I had low fish, so I had to tune down a lot of my wheat, but I've still got enough, I think, to make a bunch of, horse riding individuals. Over here, I really should have, didn't do that, but I really should have tuned this more towards iron, because you use a lot of iron, and I've already got more wood than iron. Down here, I can see energy is going to be a problem this time. So here's one of the things about Serbia is that I will take a coal tile right away, and then another wheat tile. So that's really good news for me. That's good stuff. That's about it. I did, and all my double tiles started off a barracks. And the reason to build a barracks on your double tile is that the barracks increases the percentage rate at which you build infantry. Double tiles build infantry faster than single tiles. So let's just say double tile builds, this is fake, but I'm just using round numbers, 10 infantry per day. It doesn't, not even close, but I'm just saying this. And then a single tile builds 5 infantry per day, okay? So let's just say building the barracks improves your rate of building by 50%. Okay, again, not true, but I'm just trying to illustrate something to you here. So my 10 infantry a day here increased by 50% is 15 infantry per day, 5 more, right? My 5 infantry here increased by 50% is 2.5 infantry a day. So it's just, the thing is, a percentage of a bigger number is a bigger amount, right? So it's just kind of basic math. Not everybody understands percentages because our education system sucks, but we can get into that later. But anyway, so build your barracks on double tile territories. That's also where you're going to want to build your factories, your railways, everything else that has a percentage increase on production. You're going to want to build on your double tile. So we'll see that coming later as well. So I've got barracks building in all 3 of these. Once the barracks are done, I need to build a workshop, and then I'm going to start churning out those cavalry units. And I'm kind of excited about this because, like I said, I did want to play in France over here because the abundance of wheat, and that's the primary thing. To build a cavalry costs wheat, and then to upkeep a cavalry costs wheat. But this is kind of cool because, it was in sort of this Central European / Russian zone here that the Mongols and a lot of other horse riding peoples just dominated. So I don't know. I'm kind of excited. Let's just see what happens. I'm going to leave it at that. You can see where my basic game is here. I'm going to keep on trying to seize sort of these small AI territories and gather up the resources. I do need more energy. I love it that there is a gas here, an oil here, and another wheat here. And then fish, which I mentioned, I'm short on fish. If I can get more fish, I can dial those resources back to wheat a little bit. So it looks like I'm going to go after Serbia and then probably Romania after that. So hang in there, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and see what happens next. This is definitely like a Fun Day Monday, day 9 restriction sort of situation. All I'm allowed to build are cannon and cavalry. So let's see what happens. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. See you next time.